Hello, today's tutorial is about using the built-in sampler in Reaper, SampleOMatic5000. So let's dive in. I just have pretty much an empty session except for the fact that we have one track here. So we'll start with that. We're gonna hit the FX button, okay? And you can go to Kakos or Instruments or whatever, or type it in, and you're gonna choose ResampleOMatic5000, push OK, and here we have the ResampleOMatic5000. So what can we do with this? We've talked a little bit about sampling before, so this is a way to put an audio file, do a little bit of editing to it. You change the envelope, the ADSR, where it starts, where it stops, and then you can resample it at different pitches on the keyboard, which is kind of cool. So then we can make MIDI regions, and we can kind of paint that in, draw that in like we were doing with the synthesizer. So in order to get a sound in here, we have to go to Browse, and then we choose a sound. And let's see, how about Door Creek? Okay, that is a Door Creek. So we can play around with the ADSR either on the actual sound waveform, or we can start playing with it here. So I kind of like the visual element, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut off this little beginning part, and I'm going to kind of make a little bit of a longer attack, and I'm also going to cut off a little bit at the end, give a longer release, and we'll dip down a little bit for the decay. Okay, that's good enough for me. I'll show you what some of this other stuff means, but you can also, like I said, play with this down here. Blah, blah, release, etc., etc. Okay, and that's good. I'll exit out. Okay, now how do we hear it? Well, a couple things we have to do. First of all, let's bring up our handy dandy virtual MIDI keyboard, and you can either go to View and then Virtual MIDI Keyboard, or it's Option or Alt B, and that toggles that on and off. Okay, so okay, I can't hear it. I wonder why. Well, why? For some reason, or for reasons in Reaper, we have to do a little bit more, a couple more things in order to get this to sound. So first we have to turn on the record arm disarm. Okay, still can't hear it. All right, now we go to the input, which is right next to this other effects button. This is the input little drop down. And we're gonna go to Input MIDI and Virtual MIDI Keyboards, all channels. Okay, so we can see that there is some stuff happening, right? But we can't hear it. So in order to hear it, last but not least, we have to click this record monitoring button. It kind of looks like a little, I don't know, kind of like a little speaker. It looks like a little speaker when you hit it at the very least. Okay, now we can hear it. Yay. Okay, so whenever I hit any of these different notes, it all is the same pitch. Okay, now we can change that if we want to. It really just depends on what we want. Maybe we don't want the pitch to change, but I would go back to the FX menu, and we go to Mode, and we drop down, and we go to Note Semitone Shifted. And then we just exit out again. And now we get this at a variety of different pitches, which is kind of fun. Now, if this was a pitched sound, which it's not, it's kind of noisy, we could determine what the pitch was, the starting pitch, and then we could type it in here. So if we knew, for instance, that this pitch was C4, we could type in C4, or I guess we could just use the knob to get all the way up to C4. And that's middle C for those of you in the know, for 60. And then when we hit middle C, it would be calibrated to that pitch, and then you can play, and you know that if you hit a C, it's going to be a C. If you hit an A, it's going to be an A. Doesn't really matter for this, so I'm just gonna make it 0. And I'm gonna exit out of here. And that's good enough for me. Now we can throw something in there a little bit more pitched. That could be fun. So I'm gonna go to Browse, and I'm going to select this pulse stretched organ that I had made before. Now this is quite a long sample, so I'm actually just going to get a little portion of it, so I can kind of really get in to just a little bit. It tells you how long it is. I think 3 seconds would probably be reasonable. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm zooming in by using my 2 fingers on my trackpad, or however you zoom in on your computer or laptop. It might be, if you're using a mouse, it might be the middle wheel or something like that. So I'm going to play with the ADSR again. I'm going to make, yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. And we can hear that. And now this is kind of lovely at those lower frequencies, so, or those lower keys on the piano. So I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. So I go to Insert, New MIDI Item. Well, let's make this, you know what, that's fine. Oops, let's zoom out a little bit, and we'll make this we'll make this 2 measures long. Okay, delete that. And maybe it looks something like this. Maybe that is my very basic baseline. Cool. Okay, and maybe we repeat that. Just copy and paste. Copy and paste. Okay, so that's kind of the basics. Yeah. All right, bye.